out there beyond just learning data analytics. So it was really like a push for me. And I remember I started posting on LinkedIn like in less than 2 months. I started getting a lot of connections from different people, from people in tech and all that. I also started having a lot of followers. My followers increased in less than a month to about 1,000 plus, and it's still growing. Actually, I started posting weekly, and I found that I started getting engagements from people that I never thought I would connect with, right? And I recently got a job offer where I wasn't expecting, because I'd been applying for jobs before then, and all the, when you apply for a job and you get the mail and you just get, we are sorry, and you're just like, oh, I don't think I want to do this again, right? So that was the situation I was in. But the job I got, I didn't apply for this job. Like, I was on my own. I was where I used to work, and I got a chat on LinkedIn um, from a recruiter, actually, from one firm that I had been admiring. So I was like, this one that someone is messaging me on LinkedIn, I hope they're not about to tell me to come and register for one of that thing. Because sometimes on LinkedIn, people message you to register for something or pay for a particular thing. But this one was from a recruiter, and though other several recruiters had actually messaged me, but they were like, oh, we're sorry, the role that we are looking to hire you for.
All right. Hello, everyone. Confirm you can hear me loud and clear. That's the first thing we need to do today before we set the session rolling. Confirm you can hear me loud and clear before we go ahead. You can type in the chat loud and clear if you can hear me loud and clear. Type loud and clear in the chat. I would love to see that you can actually hear me clearly before we set the ball rolling. Great. Okay, loud and clear, brilliant. I can hear you loud and clear, brilliant, brilliant. I am super excited to be here today. My name is Mohammed Suleiman, as you can see at the bottom of my video. My name is Mohammed Suleiman, and I'm the COO here at Nebians Analytics. And guess what? Today I'll be your host for today's session. All right, so we'll be doing a little bit of simple exercise before we set the ball rolling, because we need to set the record straight even before we set the ball rolling. So a little bit of exercise and we will start the session. All right, it's going to be an insightful session because we are going to be discussing one very key ingredient of leveling up in 2025, and that is your CV, especially if you want to get into tech. And what exactly do recruiters look at in the world of tech from your CV? All right. All right. So that's what we're going to be discussing today. But meanwhile, we have some people joining. So while we are joining, okay, welcome once again. My name is Mohammed Suleiman, like I've said before. And I would love to know, are you joining us for the very first time? Now, if you're joining us for the first time, tap first time. And if you've been joining us for a while now, or at least this is your second time of joining us, type regular in the chat. So first timers, type first time. If you've been joining us in the past, you've joined our sessions in the past, type regular. I want to know, do we have more new faces in the house, or we have more regular faces here? First timer, first timer. All right, brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Okay, let's keep it coming. I want to know, are you joining us for the very first time, or you've joined our session in the past? Okay, first timer, first timer. Okay, brilliant, brilliant. All right, fantastic. So we can safely say that while we have, some regular attendees, we have more of first timers. So for those who are regular, for example, Obina, Rachel, your name looks very familiar. Okay, I bet we have had a conversation before. Rita, I think we've had a conversation as well. You're welcome once again. And for those who are joining us for the very first time, you are welcome to Nebiant Analytics. And what we're going to be discussing today, all right, what we're going to be discussing today is going to hover around what tech recruiters look for in your CV. Okay, so you're looking to break into tech. If you don't know this that we're going to be discussing today, you are simply wasting your time. Okay, so count yourself lucky to be here today. And if you feel there is somebody who should be as lucky as yourself, all right, today, send them the link to this session and ask them to join your loved ones, your relatives, your colleague. Ask them to join this session right now today, and you guys will be going home with a lot of insights. Okay, a lot of insights. If you want to level up in 2025, you need to know exactly what recruiters look for in your CV. Okay, that is the very first basic thing that you need to know. But I want to know, are you excited to be here today? Do you want to know exactly those things that tech recruiters look at in your CV? Okay. Point number one is going to shock you guys. Okay, and I'll unveil it very soon. But I want to know if you're excited. Type a year in the chat. Okay, I'll type mine with a lot of ease. Okay, to show my excitement. Type a year in the chat. Okay, no, type it like me. You need to type it like me with a lot of ease so that I know exactly that you are excited to be here today. All right. If yours does not have multiple E's, then I'll count it as you're not as excited as myself. Okay, even if you are. All right. So the amount of E's yours have, okay, shows the amount of excitement that you actually have. Okay, brilliant. I can see the years in the chat. So let's keep it coming. Okay, while I introduce to you Nebiant Analytics, sake of those of us who are joining us for the very first time. My name is Mohammed Suleiman, and I'm COO here at Nebiant Analytics. And I've had the opportunity to be in the space for close to 7 years. And I've had the opportunity to also work with top conglomerates like Alfa Romeo. For those of you who are hearing the company called Alfa Romeo for the very first time, it's a luxury car brand, an Italian luxury car brand. There used to be a sister organization with Ferrari up until about 2016 when Ferrari became a standalone organization themselves. And guess what? I've had the pleasure to mentor and help close on 3,000 Africans to make that switch from classroom to their very first tech job. And today, I would also be sharing with you my own journey on how I became a tech talent myself. So I also transitioned myself as the CEO here at Nebiant Analytics, transitioned into tech. We weren't born tech bros or tech sis. So I'll be sharing that with you as well. And guess what? You want to stick with me as much as you can so that you gain everything you came here for. Nebiant Analytics itself is a tech, it's an ed tech, all right? It's an ed tech firm that exists to fill a gap. And that gap stems from our experience as Africans in the job market. All right. Now, while working with top firms, remotely, I'm talking of international brands, right? One of the things I discovered was that there are only a handful of Black persons in the organization. I'm talking of organizations that have close to 2,000 employees. So how do we change that narrative? What exactly is the problem? And guess what? The problem is that Africans do not have access to the kind of tech training that our white counterparts have access to. All right. So, how do we change that narrative? That is exactly what Nebiant Analytics exists for. And how do we do that? It's very simple. We've strategically selected some tech career paths. I'll talk more later on why we selected this career path: data analytics, data science, as well as business analysis. And not only have we strategically selected them, we also bring on board experts who work with you directly to gain expertise in these fields. And this means that you'll be learning from real world experience, and you can be able to hit your very first tech job and hit the ground running, okay, without any delay. All right. But we'll go directly into why we are here today. Okay, what do we come here today? I've broken it down into 4 aspects. All right. First off, we're going to look at what are the things tech recruiters look at in your CV. All right. There are some misconceptions that a lot of people have, especially people who are very new into the space. You are a newbie, you've just decided to get into the tech space, or you've been trying to get into the tech space, but you really haven't gotten a hang of it. All right. You've learned from here, you've learned from there, but you've not broken that barrier yet. So this session is meant for you. All right. So the very first thing we're looking at is what tech recruiters look at in your CV. We would also be looking at some success stories. Okay. Some people who have joined the program and have gone on to get their very first tech job. I will look at what we call here at Naviat Analytics our special extra layout support. It's a career support that you would not get anywhere else. All right. And this is an ongoing career support. And when I mean ongoing career support, imagine you register for a program and then they support you for life. That is what a premium tech brand would do for you, okay, and none other. And at the end of the day, we'll discuss our very special offer for specifically just for those who stay to the end of today's session. And we'll try as much as possible to squeeze this session to under 2 hours at most. All right. So, but first, okay, first, I need to know that you are the correct person for today's session. Okay, so I'm gonna ask you this question: do you want to work from home in the year 2025 as a tech bro or a tech sis? I want to know, do you want to work from home as a tech bro or a tech sis? And I want you to remember your response to this question very well. Now, if your answer is yes, that look, 2025, oh, I want to work from home this year, I want to get a remote job, okay, as a tech bro, not an ordinary remote job, okay, not a virtual assistant or a data entry clerk, no, not that, as a legit tech bro or tech sis, okay. If your answer in the chat is yes, if you typed yes in the chat, then I need 100% of your attention today. If you're in a noisy environment, you need to leave that place, get somewhere quiet, okay, so that I can have your attention for the next 1+ hours. All right. Now, if you must get a tech job, a remote tech job for that matter, in the year 2025, guess one thing you need to be perfect. One thing you need to be perfect is your CV. All right. You need your CV to be perfect. And your CV walks into that company before you. All right. Your CV, whatever job you get, okay, eventually, your CV must have preceded you into that very company. Okay. And that's a big deal for you. All right. It's a big deal for you. And that means that you need to take note of certain things that you need to get right about your CV. And recruiters are big on these things. Okay. And like I said, the first one will shock you. The first one will shock you. Okay. The first one will shock you. Which celebrity says it shock you? Who can remind me of that? So while you're reminding me of that, I'll be presenting and letting you know which what recruiters look at, all right, in your CV. And at the end, I would also show you what what your CV should look like. Okay, Israel, brother Shaggy, exactly. It shock you. Okay, so now we'll be looking at these 5 things. Okay, let's go on to the 5 things that you must ensure that you take care of in your CV. All right, 5 things you must look at in your CV. So these are the 5 things. We'll take them one after the other. Let's take them one after the other. Number one is putting education first. Guys, you write your CV and then you write you had a bachelor's degree or you have a master's in so and so. Tech recruiters do not care about your educational background. Like I said, you may find this very fascinating. Okay, what do you mean, Muhammad? What are you saying? What do you mean tech recruiters do not fancy your education? Now, I want you to take this home for free. Recruiters only, listen very carefully. Recruiters only care about your educational background only if and only if it directly is connected to the job you are looking for. Anything aside that, recruiters really don't care whether you have a degree in so and so or degree in so and so. And even if, listen, even if your degree, okay, connects directly to the job you are looking for, especially in the tech ecosystem, recruiters will still put that aside because they know what goes on within the 4 walls of the university and still ask questions, practical, experiential questions that only if you've worked in that job, in that job role before, that's the only way you can have that experience or be able to answer that question effectively. So at the end of the day, your educational background does not interest or thrill the recruiter. All right. So putting it first in your CV is just wasting the recruiter's time. Okay, because typically recruiters take only less than 10 seconds to scan through your CV because they know exactly what they are looking for. So you're putting education first, you are wasting time. All right, you are wasting time. Are we together? Are we following? Are we following? I need to know that we are following. I need to know that we are following because after all these 5 points, okay, after these 5 points, we would look at a sample CV, what your CV should actually look like. All right. Fantastic, fantastic. I can see the reactions. All right, let's go to point number 2. If you have a tech CV, okay, and you do not show impact or results, you're wasting time. Recruiters are big on impact, results, achievement. Recruiters are big on impact, results, and achievement. Okay, now when we say impact or results, what exactly am I saying? That's big English. All right, let me water it down. Okay, let me water it down a little bit. When I say impact or results, what I mean is numbers, numbers. Okay. Oh, you did so and so thing, and then it increased revenue for the company by so and so percent. Okay, by 20%. Okay, or it's increased efficiency from 70% to a whooping 97% within 6 months of you joining the organization. All right, you need to spit out numbers into your CV. If you have a CV and it does not have numbers to measure the impact you have made in that role, you are wasting time. You are doing what? You are wasting time. You are wasting time. All right. So that's the second point you need to know. Okay, so recruiters are looking for numbers, and if they scan through your CV and you did not mention any numbers, how you actually impacted in that particular job role, your CV will be casted aside. Okay, So again, I would have time for questions, question and answer towards the end of the session. If you have any questions, write it down in your notes, okay? Or write it down somewhere so that you don't forget. I'll take questions when I am done. For example, I can see a very beautiful question in the chat. I won't take that now until I am done. So stick around and I'll answer every single question when the time is right, okay? You would ask a question and I'll give you the answers. Now, another thing you want to mention is relevant metrics. Okay, relevant metrics. All right, relevant metrics. Okay, people are asking, oh, Mohammed, you just said that you need experience to get the job. What if you don't have experience? Very brilliant question. That's why we are here today. All right, that's why we are here today, getting the experience. Okay, I'll talk on that. But you need to stick around to the end of the session. And if you look at the chat box right now, my team member has posted the attendance form. You need to fill that attendance form before the session is over. Guess what? I'm going to be sharing a sample CV today on my screen. If you want to have a copy of that CV in your email, all right, in your email, you need to fill the attendance form. Okay, if you do not fill the form, you won't get the sample CV, the template I'll be sending across. You would not also get the slides in today's session as well as the recording. So ensure to fill out the attendance. Once you filled it, start done in the chat so we know you have filled the form. All right. So the next thing we want to talk about is mentioning relevant metrics in your CV. And this may be confusing, especially when you look at the point we just discussed. How many of you are confused? That Mohammed, you said not showing impact and result. Now you're saying not mentioning relevant metrics. How many of you are confused about the two? Now, okay, what's the difference between impact and results compared to metrics? How many of us are thinking that line? I want to know if you're thinking what I'm thinking. Okay. I want to know. How many of you want to know the difference between the last point we just discussed and this particular point? Okay, brilliant. All right. My team member would post the attendance form in the chat box. Okay, it's a blue link. All right. You see inquiries. It's going to be a message from Inquiries Nebians or Data Science Program. Okay, it's a blue link. Start with hello everyone. So read it out, click on it, fill the attendance form, and you will get the sample CV that I'll be sharing towards the end of this session. I'm going to present it on my screen. I have it here. And all these things we are discussing, we'll look at it one by one. Okay? Now, okay, I can see some persons have filled the form. Brilliant. Now, guys, metrics are those big grammars. Okay? Listen to me. Those big grammars that are specific to that career path that you are eyeing, that you are looking to get into. Okay, now these big grammars are the tools for measuring success in that role. All right, for example, you want to become a marketing analyst, just like it's a data analyst that is tailored towards marketing. Okay, now you want to become a marketing analyst. You need, if in your CV you don't have things like cost per lead, cost of acquisition, conversion rates, all right, click-through rates. You don't have all of these terminologies mentioned in your CV. You are wasting. What are you wasting? You are wasting. Who can complete that for me? What are you wasting again? If you don't have this in your CV, what are you wasting? You are wasting time. Exactly. Chinwe, God bless you. Thank you for that. Emeka, God bless you. You are wasting time. All right. So, and the reason is recruiters want to know from straight off the bat that you are the person for the role. Are you worth having a conversation with? We don't want to waste our time. We want to hire somebody for this role. So if we must have a conversation with you, you must be worth their time. So if you don't do these things right, you won't even have that conversation. When I say conversation, I mean an interview. All right. So the very third thing, the third thing you want to have mentioned in your CV are relevant metrics. Okay, relevant metrics, and these metrics can be researched. Okay, marketing, we have marketing metrics, like I mentioned earlier, CPL, cost of acquisition, COA. You have click-through rate, you have conversion rates, and so on and so forth. All right. If you are in a business of if you are in a business of logistics, for example, let's say you're a supply chain analyst, and these are just different other forms of data analysts, all right, that I'm mentioning. And we'll go into some specific career paths later on as we go on with the program. So you need to know what metrics are being measured in that particular career path or that particular domain, and those are the things you want to appear in your CV. All right. Point number four. Point number four. Your CV is not your LinkedIn profile. Your CV isn't your LinkedIn profile. Are we together, guys? Are we together? Now, some of us may say, okay, what is your LinkedIn profile to even start with? All right, fantastic. We're together, brilliant. So what's your LinkedIn profile? Now, your LinkedIn profile is something that shows your personal brand. Okay, it shows your personal brand. And let me see if I can quickly bring up mine. Okay, let me see if I can quickly bring up mine. Give me a second. Let me quickly bring up mine, okay, so that you see exactly what I am talking about. All right. So let me show you my LinkedIn page, okay, and then I'll tell you the reason why your CV is not your LinkedIn. So now let's quickly talk about LinkedIn. Now, your LinkedIn is a place where your personal brand is communicated in easy and clear words. Okay, it is in easy and clear words. You communicate what you stand for. All right, you can see that's my name. Okay, in the COO here at Nebians Analytics, I'm a data analyst, data scientist, and I'm a top tech trainer. Okay, and if you look at my banner, all right, where's my mouse? All right, so if you look at my banner right here, it communicates exactly what I stand for. Okay, over the years, I've had the opportunity to open doors of global tech opportunities for Africans, okay, through elite training. So it must communicate what you stand for and who you are. That's your LinkedIn. So your LinkedIn overall communicates who you are. While your CV, on the other hand, okay, tells the recruiter that you are the right person for the role that they are looking for. Your CV has to match the job role specifically. So each job posting is a fingerprint. It's like a fingerprint, and your CV must match each. So it means that if you are going to get a tech role, a remote tech role in 2025, all right, you must be ready to have multiple. You must be ready to, guys, confirm you can hear me, please. Can you hear me? Can we hear me? Confirm you can hear me, please. I need to know that you can hear me. I think there was a little bit of network glitch. Okay. All right. Okay, brilliant. You can hear me. All right, that's good. All right. So as I was saying, all right, your CV matches the job role, while your LinkedIn, on the other hand, okay, simply explains who you are and the career path, okay, that you are into, basically your experience, while your CV goes into a lot more nitty-gritty of what you actually did, and how it matches the job role you applied for. So it means that from time to time your CV will change, okay, as you apply to jobs, your CV changes. Like I said, if you have questions and you are asking now, it's a mistake, please note down your question and I'll give you the opportunity to ask the question at the end of the session. Also, fill in the attendance form. I'll be presenting a CV template in a couple of minutes. If you want to get that template, you want to get this slide, you want to get a recording, mail to your box, your email, ensure to fill out the attendance form. It's right there in the chat right now. You see a blue link, click on it and fill it out. If you have questions, I'll give you opportunity to ask the question towards the end of the session. Okay, so like I said, your CV should match the job. So there is something we call job matching, CV job matching. If you do not do that and you simply have a cut and paste CV, you have just one CV you used to apply everywhere, you are wasting, who's completing that for me? You are wasting what? What are you wasting? You are wasting time. Thank you. God bless you, Chinwe. You are wasting valuable time at this point. Valuable time at this point. All right. And you do not need to waste that time. It is unnecessary. Okay. And last but not the least is the tiny details. Now, you've done every other thing right, but your hyphens are not aligning. As simple as that. Your hyphens are not aligning. It's your CV is a little bit disjointed. Okay, the font you used when you started the CV, you didn't end it with the same font. All right. Some are the boldness of some text on your CV are not consistent on your CV. Now, these little details communicate the kind of professional that you are from the get-go. These tiny little details, guys, communicate who you are. So if visually your CV isn't appealing, it will be casted aside, and guess what? The recruiters move on to the next one. So after you feel you've done every other thing right, you need to look at those tiny details over and over again, down to the use of grammar. Okay, down to the use of grammar. All right. Back then when we were in school, if our teachers make a grammatical error, we'd say our teacher have tabon. All right. So now you're writing your CV. Okay, you're shooting gun in your CV. Grammatical errors. Your CV will be what? Be pushed aside. Okay, so these things need to be looked at. You need to look at it critically before you apply to that job. All right. So guess what? How should your CV look like? Okay, and how does it look like now? So let me show you two CVs. This is not a sample yet. Okay, this is just a picture. All right, I'll still show you in Microsoft Word what your CV should actually look like. Okay, I'll show you briefly, and then I'll be sharing it with you if and only if you fill the attendance form. Now, if you look at the CV on the left-hand side, it's very colorful, very shiny, you know, so on and so forth. But guess what? It is not friendly to a tech recruiter. All right. And you may be wondering, okay, is it that recruiters are colorblind or what? No. All right. No. The colors don't get you the job, but the content actually gets you the job. So rather than wasting time looking for the best background for your CV, you want your CV to look like what is on the right hand side. Now, if you notice what is on the right hand side, they are aligned. The bullet points are all aligned. Everything is looking systematic from top to bottom. And that's what your CV should look like. You must ensure that your CV flows from top to bottom, not from left to right, like what we have on the left-hand side. Okay. So having said that, let me show you in Microsoft Word what actually your CV should look like and what the content should look like. Somebody saying can't see it. If you can't see my screen, please step out of the call and step back in. You should be able to see my screen, ideally, everything being equal. Okay, if you can see my screen, type in the chat. I can see your screen, so we know that you can actually see my screen. David, you're asking, can I send this? This is not a sample that I'm sending. I will send I'll send the sample right now after sharing. Okay. Of course, you need to fill out the attendance form, else you're not getting it. Fill the attendance form so that you get the template that I'll be sharing. All right. Now let's go to Microsoft Word. Okay, where's my Microsoft Word? Let me pull it up. Give me a second. Word. All right. Microsoft Word. Okay, it's sample CV. All right, so here is sample CV. All right. So it's going to come up now. Okay, and I want you to pay attention. Okay, pay attention to what's on my screen now. If you haven't filled the attendance form, you are wrong. Okay, so ensure to fill out the attendance form so that you don't miss out on this. Now, the very first thing you want to appear, let me make it bold so that you see it very clearly. Okay, the very first thing you want to appear on your CV is your name. Okay, the very first thing you want to appear on your CV is your name, written boldly in capital letters or block letters. All right, very boldly your name. Okay, and after your name, you want your contact details to follow, starting from your phone number. And guys, as a tech talent, if you are looking for a remote tech job in 2025, please always ensure to put in your country code in your number. Start with +234 if you are in Nigeria. I think +233 is for Ghana. You know your country code. Put your country code. Do not start with 0 or you type 0. I mean, you don't want to do that. Okay, we've gone past that. You are a tech talent. You want to start with your country code. Now, after that, you need to put a hyperlink for your email. All right, your email should follow next. Okay, your LinkedIn profile should also be attached. And if you look at what I've done here, all right, while I'm hovering, if you notice if you look very closely, I have first name, last name here, which is my name. Okay, that's assuming that's my name. Okay, Muhammad Suleiman. But if I put my cursor on it, you notice that there is a hyperlink on that name. So you need to hyperlink your LinkedIn profile to the name. You don't just copy your LinkedIn profile link and just dump it on your CV. You want to make your CV neat and crispy. All right. So you need to hyperlink your LinkedIn profile in here. All right. Next thing you need is your portfolio of projects. If you want to enter into tech in 2025 and you do not have projects, for those of us asking, where do I get the experience from? This and that. We've gotten there now. You need to have a portfolio of projects handy. Place the link in your CV right here. You want to put the link right here so that recruiters can, as they're accessing your CV, they can easily click on this link and it takes them to your portfolio. Now, for those of us who don't know what a portfolio is, allow me to show you one of our students' portfolio. All right. Her name is Deborah Olawale. Okay, let me show you what our portfolio looks like. She passed through one of our programs and she built this portfolio. So in that place where you have view projects, you should have something like this. Okay, this is Deborah Olawale's portfolio, one of our participants passed through our program. And guess what? These were some of the projects she was able to build while she was with us. Okay, if you can't see what I'm showing on my screen, it's a pity. All right, but you can still salvage everything grades by filling the attendance form. Ensure to fill that out so that you don't miss what we're showing. Now, if you can see what's on my screen, guys, these are projects that Deborah Olawale has worked on. These are the things recruiters want to see. If you do not have something like this in 2025 and you say you want to become a tech talent, you want to get a remote job, you are wasting time. Okay, you are wasting time. All right, if you can see what I'm showing on my screen, type I can see it again so that Grace and Juliana knows that specific issue they have and not an issue from my end. So it's a pity you can't see it, but what you can do is you can step out of the call and step back and you can see others are saying they can see it. So please you want to ensure that your connection is okay. Now these are high class professional dashboards that are being developed by our participants under the guidance of our experts. Remember when I was introducing Navient Analytics, I mentioned you'll be working with experts. So these are the kind of practicals that you would work on, and it will formulate your your portfolio, and you can have that. You should have that here on your CV as a link. Now, after you've gotten that, okay, after you've gotten that, you need a professional summary. All right, you need a professional summary. And guess what? If you notice, I did not underline the header. And the reason I did not underline this is because it's already in block letters. Okay, so if you already have it in block letters, you do not need an underline anymore. Okay, like I said, guys, if you have your if you have any questions, I'll take that towards the end of the session. Now, your professional summary is a maximum of 7 lines that communicates your expertise and some of your achievements. All right, your expertise and some of your achievements. I beg your pardon. So your professional summary, all right, communicate your expertise and your achievements to the recruiter. Okay, if you look at what I have here, accomplished data scientist. So you need to be very confident. Okay, you don't belittle yourself in your professional summary, you hype yourself. Accomplished data scientist and analyst with over 3 years of experience in analyzing and interpreting complex data sets throughout various project phases, driving the creation of strategic reports and actionable insight that supports business success. And then you ensure that you hype yourself as much as you can, highlight your achievements, and do not feel remorse at all. Next thing they want to see is your competencies. Okay, and if you notice, I haven't talked about my education yet. Okay, the education is not here yet. All right, we're talking about the things, the relevant things that recruiters want to see. Okay, so the next thing is your competencies. All right, and your competencies should always stem from the job description. Okay, so you see some keywords being mentioned in any job you're applying to. Those are the things that should formulate this, and that's why some of the finer details in your CV would always change depending on the job you're applying to. Are we together, guys? You can't just pick a CV. For example, if you get this template, you can't just pick it and put in your name and all of that and just start using it to apply. It doesn't work that way. All right. But in terms of how the CV looks, yes, this is what your CV should look like. Okay. You have to now job match your CV to that specific job. All right. But fundamentally, if you want to use this to apply to data science role, data analytics role, then this is the kind of CV you need. So your competencies should be stated out, in bullet points like this, neatly arranged. And then next thing is you want to talk about your technical skills. Now, your technical skills, this is where you mention the tools and technologies that you know how to use. All right. Microsoft Power BI, SQL, Looker Studio, Python, and so on and so forth. And then we come to one of the most important aspects, your relevant work experience. I always like to include the word relevant. And that's because some of you may have more than 2 decades or close to 2 decades of experience, maybe working in the bank, for example. But 2025 has come and you want to pivot into the tech ecosystem, right? So in that case, for people like you, especially that are coming from, you've spent so much time in a different career path, maybe like 10 years or even more, all right? What you want to do is you want to put relevant work experience, all right? Because guess what? For those of you who have close to 2 decades of experience, for example, working in the bank, I'm just using bank for example, okay? No recruiter is going to be looking at 2 decades of experience in a 5-page CV. Recruiters don't have that time. Okay, the maximum your CV can be is 2 pages. Okay, 2 pages maximum. Anything beyond 2 pages, okay, it should either be that you are a senior, level tech talent, um, or you are simply just wasting the recruiter's time and eventually your own time, because it means you spend more time looking for that first tech job. Now, when you look at the experience themselves, I want you to look closely. You see that I put the job role bold, and then I put a hyphen, and then the name of the company that I worked for. All right, the name of the company that I worked for. Okay, are we together? The name of the company that I worked for, Naviant Analytics, all right, and then how I worked for them remote, okay, and then the dates, all right, the date. And if you look very closely, every other place where I put a date, it is aligning. It is aligning October 2022, January 2022 to August, August 2021 to January. All right. So you have to ensure that it is consistent, okay, across. All right. And if you look at some of the details of what I did in each job role, and now I'm talking about the structure of the CV. All right. I'm talking about the structure of the CV. You'd notice that you'd notice that you'd notice that they are not, each of them are not more than 2 lines. Each bullet point is not more than 2 lines. Guys, are you with me? Each bullet point isn't more than 2 lines. Are you with me, guys? If you look at it, this particular line, okay, analyzed industry trend and interpreted intelligence, everything is not, this is the 2 lines here, okay. These 2 lines explain the first experience. So you don't want to turn your CV into a passage that stresses out the recruiter. Anything more than 2 lines, knock it off. All right. So limit it to 2 lines and ensure that you mention what do you call this? What did I call this again? I talked about evaluating trends that led to a 15% improvement in automated reporting accuracy. What did we call that when I was talking about the 5 things you need to look at in your CV? Who can remember? Who can remember? We discussed that earlier. What did I call it? Impact slash results. Okay. Remember, I said you need to include impact and results in your CV. Okay. Metrics, impact, results. Exactly. So you need to mention these things in your CV. And if you look very closely, everywhere I'm putting numbers. Okay. 20% enhancement in operational efficiency, 92% accuracy rate, 10% increase in sales forecasting. All right, 25% increase in growth. Okay, increased project success rate by 30%. Right, achieving 40% reduction in model development time. You know, these are things that you want to mention in your CV. If you do not mention them, your CV is gonna be dropped ultimately. All right, and you can see the format. All the bullet points are aligning. And you see throughout that I stick to the 2 line maximum of explanation of that role that you did in the company. After you've mentioned this is when you now go on to include your education. Like I said, recruiters typically do not care about your education, but you need to position it where it needs to be or where it should be within your CV, and that should come after your relevant work experience. All right, and you see, I have a bachelor's degree in engineering, mechanical engineering, University of Cyclops. All right, if there is such a university. So this is a sample, okay? So I've used fictitious name so that I don't give off some personal details. All right. If you look at, I even started with first name, last name. Okay. A phone number. You can see the email, just so that some personal details aren't given off. Okay. Now, after your education, that should then your certifications or awards should come in. Now, certificates and awards are simply nice to have. Nice to have. Okay. Now, these certificates and award are those ones that are relevant. Let me give you an example. You did let's say you went to school, all right, and then while you were in school you did one HR course, okay, or you did one supply chain course, PMP, all right, back then, or safety, you did one safety, you did HSC1, HSC2, HSC3. You remember back then? I did it also. That's why I'm very familiar with it back then. Those certifications are irrelevant to the role you are applying to. Okay. Now, the certifications or awards that are relevant, okay, you want to try to tie it to the role you are applying to. So if in any way, okay, you feel that, I think the certificate, somehow ties to one of the core values of the organizations I'm applying to, then you need to put it there. Okay, include the certificate there or award. Okay, but guess what? Recruiters who would hire you would have made their decision once they are done with the relevant work experience. Okay, they've gone through your core competencies, your professional summary, your skills, your relevant work experience. That is the point of decision. Others are simply add-ons. Okay, others are simply add-ons. Now, in order not to waste more time, I would be sharing this particular template to those who fill out the attendance form. Okay, the template is easier to work with the template if you get them. All right, it's easier to work with the template once you get them. So I'll be sharing that as part of the email message to you after the session. You don't get it today, latest you get it tomorrow directly in your email. Only and if and only you fill out the attendance form. All right. Now that we've seen the CVs that you need to have as a tech talent, all right. You've seen the CV that you need to have as a tech talent, all right. How about the experience? Where do you get the experience from? Okay. Now, one of the things I love to share is my own personal experience. I spent close on 2 years to break into tech finally. And you saw all those things I was saying, you are wasting time. Oh, you're wasting valuable time. Yeah. Somebody said in the chat, you're wasting precious time. I fell into that specific trap when I started out. And that is why you need guidance. You need a mentor. Okay. 2 months to the time I got my first tech job, I met a mentor and I asked my mentor, all right, what exactly should I do? And he told me that, look, if you are an African, and I'm going to give you what I got for free here today in this session, all right? If you are an African and you want to get into the tech ecosystem, the best bet for you career-wise is to choose from one of these three: data analytics, data science, or business analysis. Okay? And I'll tell you the reasons why. The reasons are because they are easy to learn compared to other tech career paths. Okay? Meaning anybody from any background can jump on this and learn. Second is that it is easy to transition. Okay? It is easy to transition. And that's because on a daily basis, on LinkedIn, for example, the same LinkedIn I showed you earlier. Okay, let me quickly show you what I'm talking about. Why it is easy to transition. It is easy to transition because, for example, if I come here and I type data analyst, okay, let me search data analyst. Okay, this data scientist. Let's go for data scientist, or let's start from analyst. All right. Let's start from data analyst. Okay, data analyst. All right, data analyst. Okay, I'll search for data analyst and then I click on jobs. Jobs. I want to see just jobs. Okay, not actual data analyst, but jobs, because I want to apply to jobs. Now, simply searching, and guys, if you want to search for jobs, don't limit yourself to Nigeria. You want to ensure you type EMEA. Okay, EMEA. All right, meaning Europe, Middle East, and Africa. Okay, now one of the things I would do is I also want to filter down to remote. Currently, there are 14,000 results, meaning 14,000 job openings. Now, let me ask you, can you apply to 14,000 jobs in a day? No. Because of that sort of demand, it's easy to transition to get a job after you've learned the skill. But let me filter to remote jobs because we want to work remotely in 2025. Okay, and let me also filter to jobs that were posted within 1 week. Okay, just 1 week ago. All right, 1 week ago. Okay, 1 week ago, and I say show results. Okay, and then let's filter to remote one again. Remote. All right. I'm not sure why it's tripping off. So remote, select that box, show me 83 results. So between now and last week, there has been 833 job openings for work from home as a data analyst alone. 833. If you divide that by 7, that is well over 100 different job openings in a single day. Now, this happens consistently, and this is just remote jobs. Okay, so tell me, can you apply to over 100 jobs in a day? You likely would not be able to, but because of the demand, okay, it's relatively easy if you want to become a software developer, for example, okay, a web developer. All right. So the demand is so high, okay, and gives you the best chance to get these jobs because of the demand. So this was just to show you the easy to transition aspect of things. And if you go into the salary projections, it is mind-boggling. It is mind-blowing. As a tech talent, you can work from home, from Africa, and earn somewhere around the range of 30 to 40,000 US dollars per year. Now, regardless of your location, I want you to convert 40,000 US dollars yearly divided by 12. Okay, if you divide 40,000 US dollars into 12, which is the 12 months of the year, you get about over 3,000 US dollars monthly. Okay, so 3,300 US dollars. Okay, let me multiply that by 8,600. Imagine earning 5.2 million naira monthly. Let's say you are living in Nigeria, for example, and you earn in dollars. After conversion, you get 5.2 million home. Now tell me, what kind of life you'll be living? Would you care what the fuel price is anymore? Would you care about that? Would you even look back when you're going to the mall? Okay, you smile to the bank every single time. So it's going to change your standard of living. Okay, you work from home, all right, you earn in that capacity, and you have the leverage to do other things. So when you earn that kind of income, you can now start looking at investing in stock, buying stock. You can easily do that without even feeling it. Okay, because you are no longer living from paycheck to paycheck. All right. Now, having said that, okay, one thing you need to take note of is, what are these career paths? I mentioned data analytics, I mentioned data science, I mentioned business analysis. So what exactly are these career paths? What are their differences? Okay. And this is what we'll go into in the next 15 minutes very quickly. I'll explain each of these career paths so that you understand the differences. Okay, now when you understand the differences, you can be able to now choose which one applies to you. And if at all, okay, you end up being interested in all three and you really don't know which one to choose, we'll do that after the session today. I'll allow you to unmute, you ask your questions. Okay, we will sort that out today in the session so that you can choose a career path today. All right. Um, so let's go ahead with the session. So now we want to talk about the future of jobs report for the year 2025. Now, the future of jobs report is a report that comes every, I think, 2 years or 3 years thereabout, and it is compiled by very powerful individuals on the global scale, politicians, thought leaders, um, billionaires and the likes. And they come every 2, 3 years to discuss what's the future of jobs. Okay, to discuss issues like this. And if you look at the list I have here, okay, these are the fastest growing jobs between now and the year 2030. So if you're looking to pivot into tech, you need to look for tech roles that hover around these four areas. All right, big data specialist, AI and machine learning specialist, data warehousing specialist, and data analyst and scientist. So if you look at these areas, okay, you now see how those three career paths, data analyst, business analyst, as well as data scientists, fit into these specific areas. Okay, so the key thing is, who is a data analyst? So this is where I would explain what the jobs are, okay, very briefly. And I want you to pay rapt attention. I know you've been paying attention. Kudos to you, but you need to pay rapt attention here also, because this is the point where you start to picture yourself in each of these career paths to see which one actually you are interested in. All right, now for you to understand the job of a data analyst, you first need to know that there are four types of analytics: descriptive analytics, diagnostic analytics, predictive analytics, and prescriptive analytics. Now, the job of a data analyst hovers around the first two types of analytics: descriptive and diagnostic. So a lot of people ask, what's the difference between data analyst and data scientist? This is the difference. So the data analyst focuses on descriptive and diagnostic analytics. Descriptive analytics is simply the aspect that hovers around you telling a story, summarizing data and making sense of the data, converting it into reports, and presenting, telling a story typically. And the diagnostic analytics is taking it a little bit further to tell the organization why those things happened in their business. And those two form the job and purview of a data analyst. While a data scientist, on the other hand, focuses on the other two. But before then, the tools you need to learn as to become a data analyst are Excel, Power BI, Tableau, Looker Studio, SQL, and ChatGPT. Now, how do we come about these tools? When you look at job postings, I wish I had all day. I could have shown you all the job postings, all right? And you see what tools are consistent, okay, across board. Some of them would ask for just Power BI. Some jobs can ask you for just Power BI. Some can ask you for just Excel and Tableau. But the reason we've included all of these is because we want you to be super attractive to potential recruiters straight off the bat. So by the time you completed projects across all of these tools, you become competent and super attractive, because you find yourself at the pedestal that projects you as a top talent whenever a recruiter comes across your CV. Okay, I'll go into some of the specifics of the program, for, the 3 months program, the weekend classes, and all of that. All right, but the tools you need to know are Excel, Power BI, Tableau, Looker Studio, SQL, and ChatGPT. We are in the era of AI. So if you are not learning AI these days, you are wasting time. All right, you're wasting time. Now let's move to who a data scientist is. Remember, we talked about 4 types of analytics. Okay, and I hope you're paying attention so you pick the one that you like the most. All right, so the other 2 types of analytics form the job of the data scientist, which are predictive analytics and prescriptive analytics. Okay, are we together? I hope we're still together, guys. And the attendance form is in the chat, so still do well to fill it out. Okay, do well to fill it out if you haven't already, so you don't miss out on that template that I shared to you. So the document itself, that exact document, will be shared with you via email if you fill the attendance form. Now, the predictive analytics is simply looking into the future. Okay, of course, based on known data, right? You predict into the future to tell the organization, to prescribe to the organization what their action plan should be so that they can take the best advantage of that eventuality. All right. So when you talk of prediction, predictive analytics, prescriptive analytics, you are talking about the data scientist. So if you like to predict, okay, you want to predict, you want to prescribe, then data scientist is the job role to look for. Yes, Joshua, my slides would also be shared as well. All right. Now, as a data scientist, you need to learn Excel, Tableau, Python, SQL, GitHub for version control, and also Chat GPT. All right, you see that some of the tools overlap between the data scientist and the data analyst. But guess what? All right, they are used in different ways. So the way a data scientist uses Excel is different from how a data analyst would use Excel. Of course, there are some similarities, but the manner in which you use them are different. And that is exactly what you'll be learning here at Nebians Analytics. All right, Excel, Tableau, Python, uh, SQL, GitHub, as well as ChatGPT. And in the era of AI, it's never been easier to write Python codes and use Python codes to solve actual business problems. So if you're looking at predicting or predictive analytics, you want to become a data scientist. Now, how about a business analyst? Now, a business analyst is a middleman. Okay, a business analyst is a middleman. Okay, let me see if I could grab my pen very quickly to draw the business analyst for you. So the business analyst, okay, looks, don't worry, they are more beautiful than this in real life. Okay, business analysts are more beautiful than this in real life. So don't mind my drawing. All right, so this is the business analyst, and they always find themselves in between two people. Fantastic. In between two people. Okay, you have the CEOs here. Okay, those are business owners. You have the CEO, okay, and then you have the developers. Developers, I'll just call them devs, okay, devs, the developers. Now, CEOs and developers usually cannot align. They do not align easily, especially when they try to bypass the business analyst. So the business analyst is sort of like a mediator that helps to document um, the conversation between CEOs and developers. Because why will a CEO even need a developer in the first place? Every company needs a website, you need an app, you need a solution, okay, to improve your operations within the company. Who builds these solutions for you? So developers that builds them. All right, software developers, web developers, etc, etc. All right. Now, you as the business analyst, okay, you are in charge of documenting the conversation between the CEOs and the developers, and you are also in charge of leading the developers to ensure that whatever it is they build meets up with the expectation of the business owners. All right. You're also going to be in charge of intermittently presenting all the progresses in the project to the CEOs. Okay, and you're going to use a process called the agile methodology right here, the agile methodology. Okay, in such a way that the project is going to be delivered bit by bit rather than waiting till the end before you deliver all of it to the business owners. Okay, so you deliver it bit by bit so that if there is a need to make changes, okay, you will not be exceeding the deadline uh, if that happens. So a business analyst is very suited for somebody who loves to hold meetings. If you are the type that loves conversing with people, you like to interact with people, you love to settle disputes, you love to document, you like to hold meetings, you're an extrovert, okay? Business analysis is a career path that suits you. And what we've done with our business analysis program specifically, which you won't find outside, is we've included a little bit of data analytics at the very beginning of the program, so that you meet up with the requirements that are out there these days. If you do a quick search on business analysts, recruiters are now looking for business analysts that can handle data confidently. So you need basic data analytics skills as a business analyst, which is why we've included Excel, Power BI, and SQL to your package. On top of this, you'll be learning to use other tools and concepts like software development lifecycle, gap analysis, process mapping, um, documenting a product requirement, documents, agile methodology. All of these things you get to learn them, and you get to learn how to use tools like Excel. Okay, you learn how to use Excel. Okay, Power BI, SQL, Jira, Trello, Draw.io, Azure DevOps, and as well ChatGPT. Okay, and across all three programs, okay, regardless of which program you finally choose, it's a 3 month program and has a 1 month internship after your program is completed. All right, you intern with us here at Navient Analytics, um, and your classes are on Saturdays 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. West African time. You have an instructor like myself in that particular class leading you experientially. Okay, but guess what happens on Sundays? On Sundays, you get what we call DID videos, and they are self-paced. All right, they're self-paced, so you won't need to come to class. Okay, now these self-paced videos can be watched right there from Sundays and across the week ahead of your very next class on Saturdays. And what the videos do for you is that it prepares you ahead of that class, so that by the time you enter into that class, you have a little bit of foreknowledge, okay, which allows you to participate effectively in solving real world problems right there in class. Because Saturdays are for projects, solving real world projects that would form part of your portfolio. We talked about portfolio and the impact of having a portfolio if you want to get a job, a tech job, a remote tech job in 2025. Okay, so this is the point where I get to ask you, which of these career paths would you be interested in? So I want you to I want you to fill out the attendance form, indicate your interest, okay, which career paths. You can type it in the chat as well, because I would love to know here in the call. Okay, what career paths are you most interested in? You want to become a data analyst, you want to become a data scientist, you want to become a business analyst. Okay, all right, brilliant. And somebody's asking, are the classes online or physical? So the classes are 100% online, and the classes are designed in such a way that it prepares you to work remotely. All right, it prepares you to work remotely. Okay, and it also goes to show our mission as a brand in helping African talents find their foot in tech. All right, and this can only be done when you leverage the online space, which is why we have 100% online class for our participants, and that has yielded immense results so far. Okay, so you would work on projects like what you can see on my screen. And speaking about projects, you would also gain access to materials to build your own portfolio. So these are students, okay, that built their portfolio while they were with us here at Navient Analytics. This is Deborah Alawale. She was the one I showed you her portfolio. Okay, and she had gotten a job already. All right. So this is also Oluwaseun Ojo. He has gotten a job as well, and so many other participants that have gotten jobs after joining us here at Nebians Analytics. And this brings us to the special layered support that we have for you. So here at Nebians Analytics, we know that learning all of these skills does not get you the job alone. You need employability support, and not just an ordinary or one-off employability support. You need ongoing employability support. When I say ongoing, it means, even after a program has ended, you still need a brand that supports you until you get your first tech job. All right, and that's what we stand for. So this extra layered employability support cover these things that you can see on my screen: weekly guidance and mentorship. So what are those things you need to know about being a tech talent? What is the right mindset of a tech talent? What are do's and don'ts? So that constant guidance and mentorship, you'd have it on a weekly basis to ensure that you're on the right track. You have CV assessment. All right. So you have CV assessment. So you'll be assessing your CV to see whether it conforms with the basic requirements. You also have LinkedIn profile revamp. So some of us may not have a LinkedIn profile. Okay, walk you through on how to build one. And if you already have a LinkedIn profile, walk you through on how to revamp your profile so that it better projects your personal brand. Okay, and you have Upwork profile. So for those of you who want to work remotely, your starting point is on Upwork. Upwork is a platform where you can easily get remote jobs. Okay, you can easily work multiple jobs as a freelancer. Okay, and you have no cap or limit to what you can earn on a monthly basis on Upwork. And now you also have interview preparation. Now, our interview preparation is one ingredient that we offer for live after you've joined our program. For live, you have access to our interview preparation in as much as you are a member of, or you've been a member of Nebians Analytics program. Okay, so all right. So what this has done for most of our participants is that they reach out to us. Okay, they reach out to us while they're in the program, even after the program. Oh, I have an interview coming up. Can you prepare me for the interview? 100%. We get an expert on board specifically for you in a one-on-one session to prepare you ahead of that interview. And it does two things for you. Okay, boost your confidence for that interview, and it increases the chance of you finally getting the job. Okay, what we also offer is what we call the technical support sessions. Okay, the technical support session. So the technical support session is a weekly session on Tuesdays, where if you have any problem, you just enter into the session, share your screen, and your instructor will be there to help you close out on that issue you're having, so that you don't carry that issue over to the next week. These were things we didn't get access to when we were trying to get into tech, so that you don't need to waste your time, figuring things out before you finally get a job. And at the end of the day, you have a lifetime access to the Nebian team. So what we are trying to build with you is a long-lasting relationship, not a one-off. Oh, come pay for a program, and then once you're done, the doors are closed on you. No. In as much as this is something you want to do, you're ready to get it there for 2025. We are ready to work with you until you get that job. Okay, so all your materials during class will be made available to you on a lifetime basis. Okay, so and this brings me to the platform you use during your program as your material repository. So for any class you attend, all right, this is the Google Classroom. So I'm taking you to the Google Classroom. So once you join the program, you'll be onboarded into one of these classes, okay, on Google Classroom. So these are classes, past classes and ongoing classes, all right? So let me just walk you through the November cohort data analytics, for example. So the moment you join the platform, okay, you gain access to some important materials to start with. So this is the capstone project that comes at the end of your program and that forms part of your internship. So you get access to these things, important materials. Now, these important materials comprises of the CV template. Now, this CV template is what I'll also be sharing with you today via email. Okay, latest tomorrow you receive it via email if you fill the attendance form. So it's a paid resource, but out of my own benevolence, I'll be sharing it with you today. But for that CV to be useful and make sense, okay, you need the correct skills. All right, so this is that same CV template. Okay, you can see the sample CV. That's what I showed you guys today. All right, this is a portfolio creation. This is a video. Okay, this is the video our participants watch to create their own portfolio of projects as well. That looks like a website, like I showed you about Lebora. And you also have LinkedIn optimization resource. So these are resources that all you need to do is to look at them and you will have your LinkedIn optimized. So this is the first thing you get after you join the program. Okay, so you get this on, and you can see the mentorship session. You can see CV job matching 2. All right, technical support session that I talked about. If you have any problem, this is the session you join, and you have a facilitator there to put you through on any problem that you have, so you don't carry it over to the next week. And all your sessions are recorded. You can see recording. All your sessions are recorded. So even if you miss a session for whatever reason that may come up, you have access to the recording. This is their Tableau class. You can see Saturday live class, Tableau. Okay, all the sessions are recorded and you have a lifetime access to this material. So all the students that are on this platform have access to these materials that I'm showing you for life. In as much as you can access your email, you would have access to this particular platform. Okay, that comprises of all the class. You can see Lucas Studio Live class recording. All right, you can see complete your Lucas Studio reports. All right, you can see class material. So this was the material. Let me even show you what the material looks like and the kind of project you work on in class. Okay, so this is analytics with Lucas Studio. Okay, taken by one of our experts in-house, Ayobami. Okay, was Lucas Studio, introduction to Lucas Studio, how to connect to your data source, data modeling, the difference between measures and dimension, and you actually go on to build a report in class, working on a case study. If you look at this case study, let me see if I can enlarge it a little bit. All right, you can see this is a Digital Reach Solutions. That's the name of the company. The digital marketing agency sought to assess the performance of their marketing campaigns, and with significant investments across multiple channels, they aim to understand key metrics to optimize future strategies. So this initiative focuses on analyzing spend, campaign effectiveness, and overall return on investment. And then you have that case study. You have some key objectives that you need to analyze. You see the data sets for the session for that class, and you go on to build something like this right there in class. Okay, you build something like this right there and then in class using Lucas Studio, and this will form part of your portfolio. So it's a learn by doing, and you learn from the best in the industries. So you have no fear at all. Now, having said that, I would have loved to go into some of the other details. For example, you get a one month internship with reference letters. If you need a reference or recommendation letter, you can come to us. We also have people who have gotten jobs. Okay, this is Lebora Lawali, the same person I specifically showed you her own portfolio. All right, so that it rings a bell when I get to testimonials. Lebora Lawali posted, this was one of the projects she did in class. She posted it on LinkedIn. Okay, she posted it on LinkedIn, and you can see Ayobami, one of our experts. Okay, I worked with her to build this particular project. She posted it on LinkedIn following the instruction she got from the class. And guess what? A recruiter reached out to her after picking interest in this project, and that was how she got her first tech job. 3 weeks into the program. Okay, 3 weeks into the program was when she got her first tech job. You also have Udu Akpasi. Her story is very fantastic. All right. She worked with UBA for I think about 5 years, and in the fifth year she joined Naviance Analytics, journal of our program, and guess what? She got a job at Sparkle Nigeria remotely, working remotely from her home. Okay, she she then got into a back and forth with UBA. UBA heard that, oh, she has gotten a remote job somewhere else. They quickly promoted her and increased her salary. Sparkle got wind of that and also gave her an even better offer. And it only made sense that, look, you join the brand that pays you more, okay? Not a brand where, and this is not to throw shades on any organization, all right? But it simply shows the opportunities that are lying out there begging to be taken by you when you decide to get into tech. And guess what? I've also included a video testimonial from these two individuals, Lebura Alawale and Udu Akbasi, further reiterating. So you get to hear from them yourselves. All right. I would have loved to play the video here. And maybe after the session ends, I'll play it for you so you can see. All right. You can hear from them specifically. You also have more testimonials. Oluwashin Ojo got a job after joining our business analysis program. You have Amaka Anyago. You can hear from her by simply clicking on this particular button. She talked about how our unique teaching style works for especially newbies. And you have more testimonials. You get to hear from all of them. Click on this button to listen to Magdalene. Click on this to listen to Beatrice, how they transitioned. Click on this to listen to Waneka. Okay, Waneka was a mother of triplets. Okay, and she didn't know what to do. She got guidance from myself, and the rest is history. All right, so I won't overflog, this tech boards, reiterating what we've done in the space so far and how we've helped Africans get into the space so far. Now, we have a class starting on the 8th of March. So what am I saying here? Within a couple of weeks, you can actually start your own journey and become the next tech talent yourself. But before I tell you how to join our class, I need to know, are you ready to take the leap and get into tech 2025 so that you can change your narrative, okay, heading into the year? How to create LinkedIn accounts, please. All of these things you're asking Fumilayo is what you get in the program, and even more. You won't even need to ask for them before they are given to you. Okay. In fact, we'll give them to you and ensure that you do it. So it's a case of, is this what you want to do? Now, if you are here and this is what you want to do, this is how to get yourself enrolled ahead of 8th of March 2025. Okay, ahead of 8th of March 2025. How to get into one of our programs is this. All right. Normal price for the program is 350,000 naira for any of the career paths you want to join, either data analytics, data science, or business analysis. But guess what? I have a special package for you. Keep your eye on my screen. You can see my screen is empty now. Just keep your eye on my screen. Now, instead of you paying 350,000 naira for the program, all right, what you need to do is I'll give you a discount, and instead of paying 350,000 naira, okay, you pay 270,000 naira only. And that's not all. That's not all. And what I'm talking about is gives you access to our lifetime offers. Okay. Now, if you opt for the discounted price, you get the opportunity to pay installments. Guys, you get the opportunity to pay installments, and you can pay up to 3 times. Now, for you to even gain access to the discount, you need to make a down payment first of 70,000 naira. I'm going to talk about the 3 installments now. 70,000 naira secures your discounted slot for you ahead of 8th of March. Okay, now before your class starts on the 8th of March, you then top up with 100,000 naira, which makes it 170,000 naira, and you become eligible to start the class on the 8th of March. So it means that if you lock down your discount now with 70,000 naira, okay, that's all. You are sure not to pay the sum total of 350,000. You gain access to the discount. Okay, secure your slot with 70,000 naira. Okay, and then before the class starts, you make the second installment with 100,000 naira, and you can start the class. And at the end of March, when March ends, okay, you then top up with the final installment, 100,000 naira, and that gives you access to every other thing that we've promised you in this particular session. And this only applies to the first. I know I have 20 people here, all right, but this only applies on this call for the first 10 people to show interest. Okay, and if you want to secure your discount right now, all you need to do is to make a direct transfer to the account on my screen. You also have it in the chat box. Okay, if you look at the chat box now, you'd see the account details in the chat box 0098999047. That's our Sterling Back account here at Navient Analytics. And once you are done securing your spot on the call, okay, all you need to do is to send me a DM specifically, directly. Okay, send me a DM with the proof of payment, and I'll walk you through right there in the DM on how to enroll on the enrollment, for which particular program that you want. Okay, so we'll sign you up for one of the programs immediately after securing your slots with 70,000 naira. Okay. How about those who paid 70,000 naira last week? Helene, it means you've already secured your discount. So for those who joined, we have first timers on the call right now. Okay, this is the offer on ground. Okay, 70,000 naira, you secure your discounted slots, and you are rest assured that you are only going to pay 270,000 naira in total and not 350,000 naira. Okay, so I'd give 5 minutes. Once you've secured your slots, okay, the next 5 minutes, once you secure your slots, send me a direct message right now on WhatsApp. Once we drop off this call, I would engage you and walk you through on enrollment and how you sign up for the career part of your choice, either data analytics, data science, or business analysis. Okay, and my line is in the chat box also 0703 215 That's my WhatsApp line, WhatsApp only. Send me a direct message and I'll be there to sign you up. Okay, as we're speaking now, I've received a couple of DMs. So if you're still thinking about it, you need to think again. Guess what? You won't find this offer anywhere else whatsoever. Okay, so while that is going on, if you want to ask questions, you can raise up your hand. Okay, you can raise up your hand using the raise hand emoji on your screen. At the bottom of your screen, you see this icon. It looks like this. If you click on it, that raises hand for you. So I'm going to take not more than, I'll take a couple of questions, okay? So let me look at those who have their hands raised up. So Uchechukwu, your hand is up. You can unmute your mic. Okay, I'm going to give access to unmuting mic. So please, let's maintain decorum. Do not unmute your mic if I do not ask you to. Please, let's maintain decorum so we don't interrupt. So Uchechukwu, your hand is up. Go ahead, unmute your mic. Talk to me. What's your question? All right. I don't think Uchechukwu is with us. So let's move to the next person. That's Chizaram. I hope I pronounced your name correctly. Do you have a question for me? You can unmute. I'd love to hear from you. Yeah, good evening. How are you doing today?
I'm fine.
Yeah.
Last class we had the the lady. She was saying that when you're mainstream, that you're supposed to be posting everything. What about for people that do not know how to? What are we supposed to be talking about on LinkedIn and how to create or get our right up? Because there are sometimes you run out of things to post or talk about.
Oh, these are things that our current students they don't even need to ask to get answers to. Okay, so this is how we work with you. Now, once you enroll and you are in the class, you'd have an expert, okay, like myself, like Ayobami, like Lemo, in with you assigned to you. So even if you run out of ideas, okay, which typically never happens because of the information that you'll be getting during the program, okay, all you need to do is to contact your facilitator and they would guide you on, the line chain of thoughts that you need to post on. So if you even want to post on a daily basis, okay, you would never run out of things to talk about or post about while you're on the program. All right. So I hope that answers your question, Chizaram.
Yes, thank you.
Fantastic. Have you secured your discount yet?
Not
Or
yet.
what's your
It's just, so I currently have posting on account. So maybe in the next or something like that. Join.
okay? Guess what? You can actually secure a discount now, and signify that you want to start in April. All right. So, because guess what? If you miss out on these discounts, when you come April, the prices change. In January, this this particular program went for 250,000. Okay, but the prices have changed. It is now 270,000. Who knows what may come next month? All right. So secure a discount now with 70,000. Indicate you want to start in April or even in May. We have people who have secured their discounts and they've indicated to start in May. So you can also take advantage of that, Chizaram, all right, so that you don't miss out on the discount. Okay. Yeah,
That,
Hello.
yeah.
Hello.
Sorry. Please do
Hello.
not unmute your mic until I ask you
Hello.
to. Sorry about that. Uh, do not unmute your mic until I ask you to, so
Hello.
that we maintain
You
decorum,
said I should
please.
unmute my mic. Hello.
I called Chizaram. Okay, sorry, but I'm not even sure who is speaking right
Hello.
now.
Hello. Hello.
All right. Sorry about that. Like I said, please do not unmute your mic until I call your name. Okay. So Chizaram was the person I just finished speaking to. All right. So Chizaram, are we good? So when are you securing your discount, please? Before we move to the next person. All right. So Chizaram, go ahead. You can unmute now.
I want to speak to my mom about it. So
Okay, brilliant. But it's good to know that you can actually secure your discounted slots even ahead of April or May. All right, so Uchechukwu, you're free now. You can unmute your mic now that I've mentioned your name and speak.
Okay. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. How are you
Please,
doing today?
I'm okay. I'm all right. And you?
I'm doing fine.
Please, I want to ask,
Yeah.
can I do this program without a laptop?
Capital letter
Can I
no,
do,
you
can I
can't.
do it with my phone? I
You
can't do
can't
it
do it.
without a laptop.
You can't do it without the
That's
laptop.
yes, because that's my handicap now. And
You did a laptop.
so, do you people sell laptops?
No, we don't sell laptops, okay? But what we do is we recommend the specification, and these things are available online. I don't know, are you in Lagos, Uchechuku? Are you in Lagos? You happen to be in Lagos.
Right now I'm in Ebony State, but I live in Lagos.
Oh, brilliant. All right. So the good thing is, Lagos is a very good place. You can actually get a laptop anywhere, don't get me wrong, but Lagos is a fantastic place, especially when you are looking at used laptops. Okay, so I'd
Yes.
recommend, getting one in Lagos. All right. So
Yeah.
what I would advise you to do is this, because the laptop is not just for the program alone. This is something you'd use when you start working. Okay, so you need a
Okay.
laptop. We are not in the business of saying, "Oh, register for the program," and then when you start class, we then make it known to you that you need a laptop. No, I'm making it known to you that you need a laptop. But what you can do, okay, if you want to benefit from the discount, is you can still secure your slots. Okay, and just like Chizaram, you can say, "Oh, you want to start in April." That gives you time to arrange your laptop and still benefit from the discounts. Else, it will be impossible to do that. So what you want to do now is secure your slots. Okay, you send me a DM, and I will, walk you through on how to enroll and also indicate that you want to start in April or even in May, and that way, all right, you would have not lost anything. How does that sound, Uchechukwu?
It sounds great, but for me, I have to tell you the truth. The truth is that I am a realtor.
Okay.
So before I could get money should be at the end of the month, even to secure the this thing you're talking of.
Discount. Okay.
Yes, it's not. Either end of the month or by second week of March. That is when I'm
Okay.
expecting to get up to that amount you are talking of 70,000 now.
Okay. All right. That's
Yes, so
interesting. Okay. So this is what I would do for you, only you, Chichuku, because you've spoken in the session. Now, for you specifically, what I want you to do, I typically do not do this. Okay. What I want you to do is
yeah.
ensure to send. I don't know if you've gotten my phone number right here
Yes,
on.
you
So
sent it 070 plus. I
exactly.
requested for it.
Fantastic.
And
So
I will go
send me
back
a
there.
DM.
I'll go back there and write it down. Or you send
Fantastic.
it to my email. Or you
Okay.
send it to my email
All right. Brilliant. So what you
on
want
my
to do.
WhatsApp.
Okay, great. So it's already in the chat. So what you want to do is you want to send me a DM tomorrow. Okay, send me a DM tomorrow.
Yeah.
I would have it. I'm doing this because of your own specific interest. No other person will have access to what I'm going to offer you tomorrow. All right, so send me a DM. I'll be expecting that. Taking note of your name, and we see how we can work with you to ensure that we give you time to get the laptop and you can still benefit from the discount. Now, the discounted offer is limited. So if by now you've not, and this is to everybody, okay? So thank you, Chichuku, for speaking. All right. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, fantastic. Now, if you haven't secured your discount at this point, guys, you are making a mistake. It's a limited slot. Only a few people gain access to the discounted slot. So the next person in line, I'll be taking 3 more questions before we call it a day. All right. So the next person in line is let's see. Okay, I've spoken to Chizaram already. So Ogochuku. Okay, Ogochuku, I would ask you to unmute now, so you can unmute your mic and ask your question. Ogochuku was the next person in line, or is the next person in line. Can you unmute and ask your question? Okay, he said this one is Ojuro Oga Mohammed. Which Ojuro is that? Is it UEFA Champions League? Is he, or is it PDP you're talking about? Helen, which Ojuro is that? Let me see. Which Ojuro is that? You can ask a question in the chat also, okay? I can see the chat, so just ask a question in the chat. I can quickly pick it up and answer, okay? If your hand is not the rest in line. I can't hear Ogochuku speaking. Okay. Oh, the offer to Uche. So Uche Chuku has a special name, okay, and I also like his interest. All right, and that's why I gave that one off. So you never can tell. All right. So what you need to do now is to secure a discount. Okay. Um, there is going to be only limited slots. Okay, and the only thing I can guarantee Uchechukwu is that he would gain access to the discounted slots. Okay, that's the only thing, and he will have to work with some terms and conditions that we will be discussing. All right. So Helen, there is no Ojoro here. All right. The offer is something you would never find anywhere. I can beat my chest. Like if you leave this session today without securing your discount, you won't get it anywhere else, and you may come back and have to pay 350,000 naira. And even if what you pay at the end of the day is 350,000 naira for what we offer, guess what? It is worth your investment. So at the end of the day, it's a question of, do I want to build this? If it's something you want to do, all right, I think you need to take advantage. All right, I don't think I can hear Ogochukwu speaking, so let's move to the next person. Julius. Okay, Julius, you can go ahead. That's a Emonefe. I hope I pronounce your name correctly. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, correct. Good evening, Mr. Mohammed.
Yeah. Good evening.
I want to thank you for this opportunity, for the time and all of the introduction that you are giving to us. It's quite educative. Just an appeal anyway. I know the price you are giving to us, discounted price is actually okay. But just an appeal on behalf of myself and some of my other persons on the call, if you can just do a further reduction, please. It's an appeal. It's an appeal. I know you have tried. Just a little further reduction so that some of us who are not too financially buoyant, we know this is what it. We can actually join the class and leverage on this opportunity to up our skills for now. Thank you. I'm over for now.
Okay. All right. Honestly, it is something I would want to do. If I could do this for free, I would do it absolutely for free. All right, I would do it absolutely for free. But when you look at the offer on ground, okay, it is next to free, especially for you. If you're somebody that, look, I want to do this and get a job. If you are that person, if you count yourself as that person, you know that you are going to do your due diligence. Guess what? You're going to get a job and you're going to forget that you made an investment. Okay. Well, specifically for what you asked, Julius, specifically for what you asked, and if there's any other person who is on this call and you are looking for a further discount than what I've offered, I need you to listen very attentively. You are looking for a further discount, you need to do two things. Okay, you need to do two things. You can only do two things to get a further discount. Okay, you're gonna get a further discount if and only if you get up to 10 people along yourself, okay, including yourself rather. So you make 10, so you come as a group. All right, so you come as a group, and then you send me a DM, and we can keep track of those people. Okay, and you need to do that between now and the weekend. That's the only way you can get a further discount. You come with 10 more people. All right, so you make it not 10 more people, 9 more people. So you make 10. Okay, specifically, I also know that you mentioned you have some of your colleagues on the call right now who are currently listening in, which is brilliant. So make that a 10. Okay, and then once you get to that figure, hit my DM. We make provisions for a further discount for you. Aside that, I'm really handicapped because this is the discount we offer on an individual basis. All right. So let me quickly take some questions in the chat box before I go back to the hands that are up. Somebody is asking, oh, please, what if Saturday 11 to 3 p.m. is inconvenient? Oh, I mean, that's brilliant. If you were in the session earlier, you would have heard when I mentioned that all the sessions are recorded. So let's say that specific Saturday comes when one of your close relative is having a wedding. You can enjoy your wedding celebration, and then in your free time on Sunday, after you've come back from wherever you've gone to, you can relax and relieve the class. You watch the recording, and guess what? You can still ask questions because you would have access to your facilitator. Only a premium tech training brand will give you that. Okay, if you go outside there, they don't want to stress themselves. They'll tell you, the fact that they will record the classes. Okay, and even if they record the class, they'll tell you to come pay extra to get access to the recording of your own class. So it just goes to show how we are passionate about helping you to get into the space. All right, so I hope I answered that question. What's the question again? That's Chinecherem. So if Chinecherem, if you are still on the call, let me know if you secured your discount so that we can go ahead and celebrate you. Somebody is asking, how far can a novice go with this program? Is it beginner friendly? Absolutely. Those people who got jobs 3 weeks into the program, some a month into the program, others after the program, all started out newly. Okay, they were once where you currently are, and now as I speak, they earn in hard currency, and they are already eating the tech money. Okay, so let's see. What other questions? Good evening, sir. Please, is it possible for me to have this class physical, not online? Like I learn faster when I'm in contact with my teacher. Guess what? There is no other brand that has made online classes work than this. And even if you learn physical, when you get a tech job, remote job, do you want to do that physically? So the thing is this, the classes are not just ordinary classes. They prepare you for the job. And in that light, the class itself is preparing you to work remotely. So it's in your own best interest to embrace the remote learning, okay? So that when you get into the remote field, you are already ready for that working environment. All right, it's a different ball game entirely than showing up in the office. Apart from the convenience that you'll be getting from working from home, you'd also get to meet and connect with the outside world. So you are not confined to Nigeria or Africa. Your tentacles are spread across the globe. You work with Indians, you work with Americans, you work with Europeans, and what have you. Okay, so I hope I answered that question. Who asked the question? Chinwero. So Chinwero Love, I hope you've secured your discount, because if you've not, you are wasting time. Exactly. So let's go back to the hands. Okay, let's go back to the hands. Who else do we have? So we have a lot of hands. Okay, so we're going to be shutting this down in the next 10 minutes. All right, let's see whose hand is still up. Uba Joshua. So Joshua, go ahead. You are the next in line. Go ahead and ask.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. Good evening, Mr. Mohammed.
Yeah, good evening.
Thank you for this. Thank you for this opportunity, I must say, right? And I never thought joining this platform right now will afford me to take a decision wanting to learn data analysis. It's something that I actually would want to do. I've had that conviction for quite some time, but because of other projects that I'm working on, currently writing
Yeah.
professional exams, and also it's kind of time consuming already.
Mhm.
But listening to your talk this evening, like, give
Yeah.
me more conviction that it's something I should take advantage of and just join right away. I feel like I can create that time alongside my professional course to do that. But my major limiting factor right now is
Yeah.
the finance, right? And to take advantage of this discount, in fact, I'm happy that you're giving us such a discount, right? I'm so much glad about it. And in fact, if I would still get an opportunity to talk with the other colleague who spoke about a further reduction, I would even
Yeah.
like that as well. But my challenge now is I want to see who and who I can talk to just for me to get our funds and start the class by April. I just hope I can, because really, like I said, I'm really handicapped at the moment, but my willingness to join this program is high. Really, I just need something to get my life going. Really, at this point in time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would super absolutely and wonderfully recommend the discount for you. Okay, so you don't. I mean, for somebody like you, Joshua, you don't want to miss out on the discount. Okay, don't miss out on the discount. And guess what? You can lock it down with just 70K right now. So, what I can do for you is this. Okay, specifically, Joshua. Once you lock the discount down, okay, once you lock the discount down and you signify you want to um, get into the program by April, you can even break, you see the second installment, this second installment that I've underlined on my screen, this 100K, you can break it into two. So instead of waiting till beginning of March, that's before the class, to top up with the 100K, you can top up with 50,000 naira, okay? 50,000 naira first. Then before the class starts in March, you top up with another 50,000 naira. That makes 100, which is the second installment for you to then start. So that way, it's a lot easier for you to get yourself started. And once you're in the program, all right, you get to see firsthand the benefits. There's so many other things I've not even showed us in this session, and I would have loved to show us, but because of time, I won't be able to do all of that. So that way, it's sort of spreading the payments for you to take advantage of the discounted slots. But for you specifically, I would not want you to miss out on the discount. Okay, not to even talk of the price change. And I know you mentioned something around even further discount. So like I mentioned, I don't know if you're one of one of um one of this young man's colleague who spoke earlier about the further discount. If you took note of his name, you could even reach out to him specifically, because I'm sure he has sent me a DM now. Once my once I received that message from him, if you are part of, if you somehow are part of his colleagues, then you can be rest assured to get even a further discount on that. Okay, but you need to come through him, before that can happen. Okay, so I hope that I hope that is I hope that answers your question. All right, so we have 4 more minutes to take questions. I may not be able to take everybody. So guys, if I am unable to take your questions today, okay, I'm saying this so that you can take action in case I am unable to take your question. Now, if I'm unable to take your question today, right now in this session, you can book a session with me. All right, you can book a session with me tomorrow. Okay, book a session with me tomorrow. This session will be specifically to answer a question, nothing else. I'm not going to even be introducing myself. We get in there 8 p.m. tomorrow, okay, when you're back from work or you're outing, 8 p.m., we join the session, you ask a question, I give you your answers, all right? Because I'm emphasizing that I may only be able to take one more person before we shut down for today. And guess what? If by now you've not secured your discount, you are risking paying 350,000 naira. And worse still, I would not say is worse, all right? You could be paying even more depending on how we review our prices. So, but right now, right here, this discount is on, okay? And what you need to do is to secure the discount so that you don't miss out. Jennifer, I'll take a question and I'll be wrapping up today's session. So for you, Femi, Chimaizu, Obada, and Abraham, you can book a session with me. You can book a session with me and we can have a discussion tomorrow, same time, 8 p.m. Okay. so we can have a discussion and I would answer a question. So over to you, Jennifer.
Thank you, Mr. Mohammed. I don't know if you can hear me. Good evening, sir. Good
Yeah,
evening,
good
sir.
evening. Yeah, good evening. How are you
So,
doing today?
fine, and you?
I'm doing
Fine. So, good evening,
fantastically
everyone.
well.
Okay, so I really want to appreciate the fact that you gave us this education, this lecture, but I have a little challenge because I was with Lemo in the last meeting. So I was trying to ask this same question, but I didn't get it clear. So
Okay.
I wanted to start the classes, but I
Yeah.
needed to get a good laptop because she said it's supposed to be something 8 gig RAM laptop,
Yeah.
a good laptop
Yes.
for the lecture and for the work. So I had to start making inquiries. Actually, I've gotten the price of laptops, but it's not something
Okay.
friendly that someone can just put through now. So my question now is,
Okay.
this 6 months lecture, if it eventually ends this year, maybe by June, July, is it possible that you people start another section so that someone like me, I can be able to join the next section of lectures? Because now, right now, I can't be able to put through with all the expenses that is on ground for me to. It's not as if salary is that much for me to put through. So I don't know how feasible it will be. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So this is it. Okay. So this is it. Now we start a new program every single month. Okay. So which is why you hear me telling people that if you can't meet up with March, okay, and you still want to secure the discount, all you need to do is secure the discount and then you indicate that you want to, and during the enrollment process, that's easy. Okay, you don't need to figure it out. You just indicate that, oh, you want to start with the April cohort. So there is a cohort for March, there's a cohort for April, May, June, July, and the likes. Then secondly is that the program is for 3 months, not 6, 3 months. So if you start in March, April, May. By the end of May, you are wrapping up. Okay, you are wrapping up. One of the people who got job before completing 1 month in the program, which is even fascinating, even for us, who is tutoring, and lecturing people, or helping people to get this amazing offers. So, and that's because even we ourselves, found it very difficult, not until we got guidance. So it's a joy for me personally to also see that people are actually making fantastic wave after getting on board. So, and I believe that you can also be that person. All right. So what I want you to do now is this, okay? For you, Jennifer, I don't know if you have spoken with any of my team members before now. It's likely that one of
Yes,
my
I
team
spoke.
members.
I spoke
Okay,
with
you see that?
Blessing today. She called me.
Fantastic. Now you see Blessing. You're already speaking with Blessing. So all you need to do is this. Just tell Blessing that, look, Blessing, I joined Mohammed's session and I had a discussion with Mohammed. Now Mohammed said that that she must give you the discounted slots. Okay. But I need to know, when are you looking to start then? I know you mentioned something around 6 months, but when exactly, what month do you want to get yourself started?
Actually want to start June.
June. Okay, that's April, May, June. Okay, brilliant. That's perfect. Okay, for you. So tell her that for you specifically, okay, that
Yes.
Mohammed has said that you must get the discounted slot. Okay, just for you, no other person is getting that
Thank you
discount,
so
even
much.
if you reach out to Blessing. All right. But
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
yeah, exactly. That's fine. But if you're gonna start in June, okay, it means before that time you must have secured your discount. Okay, it's not in June you secure a discount. No, it doesn't work that
No,
way.
no.
Right?
I'll,
So you would have secured a discount before then, but you definitely get the discounted price just for you. Not a person gets that through that means. So I hope I've been able to
so I can
answer
check your
your.
account details.
All right. So the
Actually,
account details is a
is there.
Blessing will give that to you. Blessing will give that to you.
Okay.
All right. It's on the screen right
Yes.
now, but Blessing can
Yeah, I
easily
know.
give that to you. Yes, AP. All
Thank
right.
you so much. I
So,
really appreciate it, sir.
yeah, it's a pleasure. The pleasure.
Yeah.
All right. I think this is where we'll draw the curtain. I would have loved to take other questions, but you need to book. You can book a session with myself via the link in the chat box. Shakirat, I don't know whether I can post the link again so that people can book a session with me. Okay, yeah, so that's the link in the chat. So book a free clarity session. So you have a question, anything you want to talk about, you want to ask me a question, maybe you secured your discount, but you don't know which career path to choose, either data analytics, data science, or business analytics. You can also book a session so that we can clarify that. Okay, I don't have some of this step training and other requirements for the supposed data analyst. You don't need any requirements, Ogochukwu, to get yourself on board. You don't need to have learned Excel, SQL elsewhere. No, you don't need that. All you need is your interests, okay? Your interest and your dedication. That's all. Okay. Then you step up to enroll for the program, and that's all you need. All right. All of the things you need to get a job will be provided during the program within those 3 months. And like I said, after the 3 months, you still have some ongoing support that we give you at no extra cost. So, and I like I said, and I'll say it again, I can beat my chest any day, anytime, and tell you that you won't find that bargain anywhere else apart from Medians Analytics. So, Ogochukwu, secure the discounts while you still can, and we exactly, you're welcome. So secure the discount, ensure it doesn't pass tonight so that you can get yourself enrolled for the course of your choice. So this is where we draw the curtain. I enjoyed myself. I hope you got value for your time as well. This is me saying, if having saying to you a good night. Do have a fantastic night's rest. All right. Cheers, guys, and see you in class.
Good night.
Yeah, good night to you, Chichuku. See you in class.
Yeah.
Good night.
Thank you, Mohammed.